Hi everyone. Do you have a sensitivity to cow's milk and dairy products like I do? You know, Christy, when I was younger, growing up, I always was sneezing and had aching sinuses. Years and years, we didn't know why. Until one day, I was in my 20s, I was at work, and I didn't have breakfast that day. And around lunchtime, it hit me that I was not sneezing, my nose was not dripping, and my sinuses were not aching. This is something I had had every single day of my life since I was a child. The next day, came to work, I had breakfast that day, and I sneezed and had my achy sinuses, the whole shebang. And I stopped and I wondered what was different about yesterday, why for the first time in my life, I didn't have all those symptoms. And I thought, well, I didn't have breakfast and I didn't have the milk and such. Could it be the milk? I'd heard rumblings about stuff that milk could do to you, but could it be the milk? So the next day, I didn't have my usual breakfast. I didn't have yogurt and milk and such. And guess what? No sneezing.
Oh,
no
nice.
Sinus difficulty all day long. All my life, I had to walk with Kleenex in my pockets, in every purse, in my coats, because I never knew when I was going to sneeze or have to, do that drippy nose thing. And so for the first time in my life, I understood that cause and effect.
Amen.
When it comes to food and how powerful food is. And so I ran downstairs for lunch that day and grabbed a soy milk at the vegetarian store and called my mother and said, "Mom, guess what I'm drinking?" And I asked her that question because years before, she had tried to get my sisters and I to drink soy milk, and we hated it. We wouldn't do it. But today, understanding what was going on with my body, I went and got some soy milk and I loved it. And so the point is, we need to be able to swap out that cow's milk that is causing so much harm to so many people without people realizing it, and swap it out with some plant-based milks. Now, there's a reason why much of the world is suffering the same way that I did, with sensitivities to cow's milk and dairy products. You can talk about that.
There is a reason, and the reason is we're the only creatures on the planet that keep drinking milk. All the other creatures wean themselves and go on to eat solid food, and that's what we need to do too. If we can just go to the solid food and leave the milk behind and replace the cow's milk with some really nice plant-based milks. And there's lots of plant-based milks.
There are tons. But just one quick thing, as we were weaning off that milk, our mother's milk, our bodies stop creating the enzymes necessary to digest that milk. And that's why so many people are suffering today. But there's so many plant milks, like
coconut milk,
soy milk,
almond milk,
cashew,
oat milk,
hemp.
There's a lot.
There's a ton of different milks that you can purchase, or do you know how easy it is to make it yourself? We're going to show you how easy it is right this second. So we're making an almond and cashew nut milk today. And almonds and cashews, nuts, fantastic nutrition. What can you tell them?
They're high in fiber, they're high in protein, they're even high in calcium.
Exactly, an excellent source of calcium. A lot of people are saying, but cow's milk has all that calcium.
Right.
So does plant milk, absolutely. And then magnesium and fiber, all those wonderful things that you're gonna get from the plants that you're not gonna get from that cow's milk. So let's go. We're going to, you know what? You can add, okay, we've got a cup, half a cup of each. You can add a cup of nuts, whatever nuts you want, and 3 to 4 cups of liquid, depending on how rich you want your final product to be. So I'm gonna put about half that. I'm gonna put 2 cups. Let me pour this a little bit better. in first. I don't want to put too much at first because then the nuts are just going to be flinging all over the place. So keep it low, get it pureed quickly, and then add some more milk. So it helps to cut down our time. And then we're going to put in our almonds, and you'll notice that we've got the skins on still because that's where all that great fiber is.
Yes, and they have been soaked because there's anti-nutrients in all of our nuts and seeds, and we want to take that off because that helps with our digestive process.
Absolutely. And with the nuts, you want to buy your nuts, the raw nuts. So those are the ones in the bulk food section and not the ones in the snack food section. Not roasted, not salted, just the raw nuts, and wash them well before you soak them. So I just added a pinch of salt, and this actually says pinch. So how cute is that? Pinch of salt. And we're going to add just a little bit, about a teaspoon of vanilla. Finish that off so we don't waste it. Just for a little bit of flavor. Add a little bit of depth to the whole thing. And some honey. And you know what? I did have a spatula here, but it's walked away. So I'm just going to use our pinch stick. And we put some honey in there. We don't need a lot because, again, we don't want this sweetened. And especially if you're doing savory recipes, you don't want to be adding, sugar and all that. And we don't need the extra sugar.
No,
so many of our foods already have so much sugar in them. Okay, and we're using our favorite blender, which is
A Vitamix.
we each have about 3 or 4 Vitamixes because they're so fantastic. We do cooking classes, that's why.
Yes.
We're not greedy people.
No.
Okay, so here we go. And when you're turning this on, you want to just turn it up slowly. You don't want to put it to full height and then take it off quickly. Turn it up slowly, turn it back down slowly. All right, so let's do this. All right, and now I'm going to add the rest of the liquid. Oh, it's looking so beautiful, nice bubbles and
very
nice
nice.
and white and lovely. And so I'll add maybe that much, not the whole thing, because we want it to have a nice full body kind of thing. And we'll whiz it around just for another few seconds. All right, well, let's taste this thing and see.
Looks delicious.
It is so beautiful, bubbly and white and luscious. And you can strain this because it will be pulpy from the skins of the almonds, or you can do what we're going to do, and we're just going to drink it as is because that's good nutrition. All of it in there, so you don't want to waste it. If you do strain it off, it's a good idea to perhaps put it in some other recipe, like you're making some muffins or a cake or something. So add the pulp to that, and to just kick up the nutrition value of that other food.
Yes.
So let's have a sip. Oh, it looks so good.
Wow.
So nutritious, so quick. That's the thing. All right.
To your health.
Cheers. Creamy and
Delicious.
nice. So good for you and so easy. We love it. Easy to make, and it's not very expensive to make either. So
We hope you'll try this at home.
absolutely enjoy it in
your
good
health.
health. Bye-bye.